To the class. All right, so good morning again, ladies. So as I was getting ready to start saying, we reviewed chapter 5, infection control last week. We reviewed the infection control chapter in the last course, which was chapter 4. So we're going to move forward into the treatment room this week. This is what I wanted to focus on for today. And then we'll wrap the week up with Instagram for your business. Any changes to anybody's access? All right. Okay, so then clearly we know that we're going to have to extend some of those deadlines for you guys. So no worries on that. I will do my weekly follow-up on that. I guess it's Milady at this point that we're waiting on to give you guys the rest of the access. So we'll move forward with these discussions, and I will avail myself to anybody who needs to go back over anything once you get access and it's time to do those assignments. If something is weird or odd, you know, my window looks super bright and it's really not that bright. Supposed to be that bright outside. It's actually kind of damp, dingy. So I will avail myself to anyone who needs help with anything as you all get your accesses going. So for now, we're going to talk about the treatment room. Why? Because we're getting to the point now where we've gotten through a lot of the basic fundamentals. I don't know what it is about these dresses, they choke me. And we're getting ready to prepare for the move over to campus and to starting your hands-on work. So does everybody understand real quick, at least for school, how school, what as far as school is concerned, what the transition looks like into actually being into this in the student spa? So real quick, I'll talk about that real quick because I really like it, y'all. I really like it. It's sort of my experience, but this is more structured. So your first 20 weeks you're doing online with all your foundational and fundamental basics topics with some business and some social media stuff mixed in. Most of the stuff that, as you know, that we've been talking about is not what you would consider hands-on, excuse me, but it's the stuff that you need to have down pat. It's the basic information, the foundational and fundamental information that you need to already have when you go get ready to start doing stuff hands-on. So your next transition, and Nisha, you're the first one to make it. And it's going to be next month. It's going to be in a couple of weeks. And then Amaris and Jasmine, you guys will follow accordingly. You all will move on to campus and you will be in the classroom. You'll be in a classroom environment and you'll be at the tables. Has everyone been to campus? Did you all do like a campus tour before you enrolled? So everybody's pretty much seen the campus. Just to give you all some perspective, you all have a beautiful campus. Really have a beautiful campus. My campus is nothing like Lotus, so I just really want y'all to appreciate what y'all got, because it is very, it's y'all have, the facilities are top notch. Let me tell you, I looked at a lot of schools, and the one school I did not look at before enrolling was the school I went to. So you all have really good facilities. So you're going to go on campus, you're going to be in the classroom setting, you're going to be working your mannequins. So a lot of the fundamentals, so we did a lot of foundational stuff in class. We'll finish up a lot of the fundamental chapters, and you'll start doing some hands-on stuff with your mannequins. You'll start practicing your techniques. You start getting to know some of the campus procedures. You're going to start playing around with the products and start actually using your kits. But mostly you'll be working with your mannequins and getting ready for all the things that are going to come behind that. What's going to come after that section is going to be when you're in on the senior floor or in the student spa. You're going to be working on live folks and putting into practice everything that you were doing in your junior section of the curriculum when you're working on your mannequins and practicing your techniques. And then after that, you'll actually be working on people for the rest of the time in the student spa. So it's a really nicely structured environment. And this chapter is critical in getting you ready for both on campus and when you're in the treatment room, in the spa, the salon, or whatever facility you're going to be working in. So, all right, so learning objectives here. Hello. So I'm operating 2 different PowerPoints and mine is slow. You guys, yours came up already. All right, cool. Has anybody gotten a service at a high-end spa before? No?
Not that I know of.
It's something you should experience, particularly since you are looking to become an esthetician. It's an experience. So even if you need to have someone treat you or treat yourself for your birthday or treat yourself for the hell of it, you all need to have a facial in particular. Massages are good too, but you need to have a facial at a high-end spa to really, really appreciate what you're stepping into. So the idea behind this chapter is to sit quietly, relax your mind, close your eyes, and think about the last time you walked into a high-end spa for a treatment and remember the things about it. So if you haven't had that experience, I encourage you to treat yourself. Take 120, 125, 150 bucks and treat yourself to a high-end facial as soon as you are able to, because it is an experience. And also for me, y'all know my story, y'all know my deal. If I'm going to be in the spa doing facials on people, I know from my experience, it has to be an environment like that. I'm not a massage envy facialist. That's not gonna work for me because their volume, their prices are a little bit lower, although their prices have gone up a lot. But generally speaking, they win the war on price and on volume because they're a franchise. But from what I hear, a lot of times the estheticians in those environments do not make a lot of money, and they hustle hard. And y'all know, y'all know because I talk to y'all all the time. And not breaking my back, right? So those environments are a lot slower. I actually have a classmate who I think I told you, me and my friend kind of put a study group together when we graduated school to help our classmates pass state board. And largely everybody has. And now one of my classmates that got her license is working in a high-end spa. And their commissions are crazy. She said the experienced estheticians in that, and I think it's a hotel in Buckhead, the spa there, the experienced estheticians there make 6 figures doing facials. I was like, oh, okay. So treatment room preparation, the treatment room is really critical to understand how to give people an experience. So why the treatment room preparation is important, this chapter, reviewing the elements of an esthetician's professional appearance, outline the room and station features, describe an ideal ambiance, furniture, and equipment for facials, properly manage treatment room supplies and products, be able to set up a facial treatment room, prepare the treatment room for services, clean and disinfect the treatment room, pre and post procedures. So this is what we are talking about in this here. Okay, so why is the treatment room preparation an integral part of providing treatments? So treatment room preparation is important to provide a comfortable and clean environment, to function efficiently, provide good service. Safety, of course, is always at is paramount here, and to be professional and feel confident. Why do we need to do all of these things? Because at the end of the day, that is how you command those high-end prices. The reason why you have to like make it a thing to go experience one of these is because it is an experience. So let's talk about appearance. All right, so some of this stuff is, you would think, a no-brainer and you wouldn't have to talk about it, but similarly to when I taught in the medical field, I'm training medical assistants. You would think you wouldn't have to talk about things like hygiene and things like that, but sometimes you do. So good hygiene, dressing professionally, having a neat appearance, all convey what we call a polished appearance. Of course, you want to have a positive attitude. You want to provide excellent customer service. And then you want to display professionalism. So professionalism means being prepared, taking initiative, plan enough time to set up the room so that you're not rushing and shuffling around. Well-groomed hair, minimal accessories. It's funny because the chapter that I just finished in my class was kind of talking about this same stuff right here. Minimal jewelry, no long dangling and large jewelry. I always notice when I see the girls, I call them the body contouring girls or whoever, even now that I spend more time watching aesthetic videos than I do body contouring, but it always trips me out when I see estheticians, especially the really popular ones, and they have a lot of dangly, like they have their bracelets. I like Leah Lee. Do you guys watch Leah Lee? I may have mentioned her early on YouTube. She's a young esthetician out of Florida. She already had a platform on YouTube before she went to aesthetic school. So she documented her whole journey in aesthetic school. She's documented her whole journey doing her business out of her studio in Florida. And so she has a huge following because she went into her aesthetic journey already with a huge YouTube following. I just saw her at Orlando. I think I gave y'all a peek of her. One thing that catches my attention about her, she wears a lot of bracelets. So when she's doing her facial videos, all I can notice is her in her Apple Watch or whatever version of, you know what I mean? And it's just distracting to me because all I could think about is I wouldn't want to get any product on that. But I'm also knowing she's probably managing her phone from her watch, but she also wears a lot of jewelry. So you want to watch that. No long dangling large jewelry. You're not going to be able to wear that on campus. Skin well looked after is a testament to clients. I've seen in a lot of aesthetic groups, some girls have confidence issues because they're in school for aesthetics or they're recent graduates, they're trying to break into the field, but they have acne and they have or bad skin and they feel some kind of way about that. I get that because as an older woman, I'm very, very good at body contouring, but I have these arms that I can't seem to bust because I have a bad shoulder. So I've just not over the years been able to keep my arm tight. And that is a point of contention for me. I really didn't want to put myself out there because I cannot get this arm together. And this is the arm that I worked on. So it's a pain point. And so you want to do your best to take care of your skin. It's like going to a hairdresser whose hair looks absolutely crazy. But I'm trusting you're going to like make my hair look nice, right? Now, just because someone has problems does not mean they don't know what to do with your skin. But at the end of the day, you're a walking advertising, you're a walking advertisement or billboard for your business or for your career. So one of the most important things that you should be working on, and I know everybody has a story and all y'all have beautiful skin, but ideally that's one of the main things you want to take care of. I have to go back and look at our student handbook, but in general, as an esthetician, your nails need to be short. These are technically too long. Now these are short in the nail world, right? These are short. I like to keep my nails nice. I get them done, but usually when I get them done, I have them cut down from this. This is a length that I like, but technically speaking, this is too long. Can y'all see my nails? I'm trying to put them in the part that's not blurred. Technically speaking, now I'm at home on Zoom. I don't have my hands on people's face right this minute, but this is technically too long. So when I was in school, my director would see this and she'd already start messing with me. She's like, you can't wear no nails here. So I'm putting that out there now to make sure that you have that in mind as you transition to campus. It says keep nails short and well manicured to avoid scratching the client. Now, I wear gels. So my nails are thick because my natural nails are not thick, right? So I wear overlay. So I can't really scratch you unless I get them too square, but still. Makeup, wear makeup that's appropriate for the spa salon where you work. Minimal makeup, groomed brows is appropriate. A lot of us love our lashes, so we have to be mindful about our lashes. I have glasses, so I can't do too much. Plus, I'm a plain Jane. So even though I found my brown flares, I love these. I haven't been wearing them for a while because I had to give my eyelids a break. But really, you want to keep those as minimal as possible. We don't want the what do you call the big super? What are they called again? What are those big lashes called? I can't think of the word. That's not what we want to wear.
Mega Volume.
Mega, yeah, Mega Volume. And there was another one I was thinking too, those big, large, wispy, like, yeah, we really, again, if you're in a hood shop, maybe it's not a problem. But if you're working your way into a high end, that is not the look. You want to keep it minimal, keep it, you know what I mean? Keep them nice and natural looking. Uniform should be clean and crisp. That means no wrinkles. That means not dingy, right? Wear comfortable closed-toe shoes in accordance with state board guidelines. So have your proper uniform on, positive energy, healthy lifestyle, making sure that you're, you know, eating well and hydrating and not in a situation where you're in there about to pass out and die. That looks like my chair. By the way, ladies, I have 2 chairs with this type of base. I was about to sell one of them, but she thought it had a table leg base, so she ended up not buying them. So if y'all want chairs, let me know. I have 2. They don't look as white as this. They're not brand spanking new, but if you're looking for something like that, let me know. All right, so let's look at room and station structural features. All right, so treatment room should be large enough to ensure proper movement of the esthetician in the space without feeling cramped. One thing that's not ideal is when you have a table and you're scooting around your table to get to your sink or scooting around to get to your cart and you can't get to things. This right here is a whole salon, obviously. But even if you're in a treatment room, you want to make sure that you can have your table in the middle of the room where you can get around your table to either side of it in case you're doing hand massages or whatever else you're doing. Make sure you have proper ventilation. That's really important. Air vents must be present, making sure that, because you know, sometimes we're using like chemicals, sometimes we're cleaning with chemicals. Treatment room should have a minimum of 4 separate electrical outlets. Extension cords and strip cords are not ideal. So you want to make sure if you're looking at a space, even if it is a room, so after the big space that I had, if I get something else, it's going to be a room, a studio. I don't want a big facility anymore. I don't want a big facility anymore. So as I think about what a room may look like, you want to think about one thing that got me about my spa location is, oh my God, it had so many outlets. I was like, it had so many outlets and it had sinks in every room already. And I was just thinking about all that I didn't have to build out. Speaking of this, running water, even though I had a lot of sinks in my spa, the water was not good. It was not good water. So that was a problem. So access to clean water is essential in a spa or salon for removal of facial and body products. I need to move this up because the way this is written, the way this is, I can't see. Okay, so you need proper hand washing, proper cleansing and disinfection of work areas. If it's not in the room, you need a hot towel cabinet close by. A hot towel cabinet and 2 bowls of water will alleviate the need to leave the room. You want to alleviate the need to leave the room. If you have something like a mask on your client during the facial, you should be doing something else while that mask is drying or while it's doing its thing. You want to try to minimize the need to leave your client alone. So you need to make sure you have enough water with you. Workstation. Oh, this is talking about carpets and rugs. Carpets and rugs harbor germs and dirt. So your treatment room, workstation, and your floor should be washable flooring, should be tile or stone if you can, re-engineered wood, bamboo, vinyl, stuff that's easily cleanable. Facial chairs and tools should be made of non-absorbent washable synthetic materials so that you can wipe them down with the proper EPA registered disinfectants. You need proper lighting. Up lighting. So you need proper lighting. You need good lighting in your room, but you also need adjustable lighting. So you want to either have dimmers, or you want to be able to cut your overhead lights off and use your lamps as needed. That's it for that one, structural features. All right. Okay, so I don't know how much you guys are able to see. We're back in our chapter now where you're going to have your portal work to do. So we had to do this in school as well. We had to create, like, y'all remember doing dioramas in school when y'all were in grade school? Y'all remember those? You didn't have to do that.
No.
I'm showing my age. So back in the day, we used to have to get a shoebox and like create like some type of an environment or a scene in our shoebox. Now, this assignment is popping up for me on mine. I didn't see it on y'all's PowerPoint. Interesting. So the activity in general is to create a diorama of a salon. I would say you don't really have to do a whole salon. You could even just do a room. If you all can draw it, I'm not trying to send y'all to the store for 10,000 things. But I will say, out of all of the projects, some of them I used to, I don't know, when I was in school, we had to do that. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Not to do that. I did all the dioramas. But this really is a good idea or a project. So even if you write up a like a floor plan, like I just showed a minute ago, come up with you a floor plan, even if it is of a one-room treatment room, a one-room studio. I think it is a good practice to think about. Some of y'all may have already had one before. You can recreate the one you had if you liked it. If you didn't like it, if there was something you didn't like about it that you would change it. Make you a floor plan of your suite or a spa. Particularly, this is a good idea if you want to be an owner, a spa owner one day. So it's sitting here. It says team up, but obviously we're not in the classroom right now. It says to include your front desk, your retail area, your back bar area, your treatment area, a restroom. So come up with that. It's really good practice. So see if you can come up with that, see what you can come up with. You know, you can look up some of the ones that you can find online for either inspiration, or you can, if you see one you like and say, you know, this is something that I would like, just kind of copy that down for yourself. But it is really good practice, and it's really good mindset training for those that are looking to eventually get to that point. So I want y'all to work on that. I know you have a lot of portals to do, but that is a good assignment. Okay. Describe the ideal ambiance, furniture, and equipment for facials. So ambiance. The proper spa environment should engage all your senses. When you first walk into a place, the first 7 seconds that you encounter a spa, it's conveying messages to you about like the type of place that you're in. So, you know, look at lighting, look at things like lighting, like you can see on here, the unique kind of lamps they have here. Music selection. I'm really big on spa music. When I was in school, when we used to be on the senior floor, I'm just sharing my experience, people that I was in school with. So sometimes they would play like R&B music. We used to have this discussion in freshman theory, and we used to have this discussion when we got on the senior floor as well. My teacher at the time in freshman theory, my first teacher, was a little on the hood side, if I could just be honest. So she was talking about the type of music she would play. And I'm like, that's not spa music. I'm old, but I'm like, that's not spa music. But she was like, well, that's what my clients liked. And I'm like, okay, you serve a different clientele than I'm looking to serve. Because when I had a spa, I played spa music. And it was a rare occasion when I had a client that was like, can you turn this off and put this on instead? Never happened. Never happened. They'd be like, oh my God, it's so relaxing in here. I love it in here. I come in here and I'm just knocked out. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, you know, whatever. So music selection is really important. I think it is important to make your clients happy. So if your clients want a certain music, fine. I also feel like there needs to be some balance between that and this is my business and this is the music that's going to be played in my business. I think at the end of the day, you attract. So they say a lot of times you're not supposed to do what you want, you're supposed to do what your client wants. But who you're serving is your choice as well, right? So at the end of the day, it still boils down to you and the personality of your business, the character and the culture of your business. So I'm really big on spa music. Y'all have preferences on that? What's your thought about music? Temperature, sense,
I play like R&B music.
You play R&B music, okay?
Yeah, I play R&B music. Yeah, like I'll play R&B music, or maybe like on Friday we might turn it up. Like it's like freestyle Friday, you know. It just depends on like the environment. It depends on the energy what they bring inside the shop. I go off of you know that.
Okay.
Like if I know the client is like going to go to sleep, they tell me straight up, oh, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm about to just relax. Okay, we're just gonna just turn on some like Summer Walker, R&B old school music, like what I'm saying, and just have it down low, not too loud.
Okay, thank you for sharing. What's y'all thoughts on music? What's your preference? If you had a spot now, what kind of music?
I would do R&B as well.
Okay.
I think that whenever I lash, I usually play stuff that's like, it doesn't have words. So it's kind of like the song, but it's kind of like a wordless version of it.
Okay, the instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like those too. There's a lot of really good channels out there on YouTube for like instrumentals on some of the popular music that you don't think about every day, but it sounds really good on instrumentals. So that's good. Temperature. It needs to be warm in the treatment room if it's cold outside. It needs to be cool in the treatment room if it's hot outside. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that's good. And ask your clients how it feels in there. I did body contouring in my spa. So my clients was damn near naked. They had disposables on. So I always had to make sure, and they would come to me all winter long. So I had to make sure it was really toasty up in my spa. My clients were just not clothed at all. Since I used to be affiliated with a essential oil company called doTERRA. So I have like essential oil bottles everywhere. So lemongrass is my favorite scent for the spa. It just smells like spa to me, but everybody has their preference. So you want to make sure that one thing you should do, and even one of my millionaire business coaches was very big on, is when you walk in the spa, the scent should be the first thing that catches your attention. Your eyes are obviously going to canvas the place, particularly the reception area. But the first thing they should notice when they walk into a spa is the scent. It should smell like a spa in there. For me personally, if you're not familiar with lemongrass oil, go get you some cheap one out the store just to test it. I love lemongrass. I love it, love it, love it. There's a lot of different scents that work well in a spa. You guys, do y'all dabble with that at all, or what's your experience with that?
I have a lot of plugins, or like if they were to eat, I always make sure they spray Febreze so that food smell don't linger on.
Got you.
I like candles usually. And I do like ones that like smell like linen, or like, nothing like too sweet, or like nothing that's too like musky, I try to like keep it like in the middle.
Musky's not bad if you serve men.
Yeah, but
but you don't. I know you're lash queen. But
Yeah.
if you're a man, I don't know if y'all ever noticed there's a lot of ladies out there that like gear their businesses to men. And I've thought about going that route when I reopen, because I've heard men are easier. They pay, they don't complain as much, they are compliant. Once you get them in the mindset of doing home care, they're very compliant with it and they tip better. So I've thought about that. But yeah, certain smells I think geared nicely to men. So keep that in mind.
My friend did that here. She kind of geared towards men, like only servicing men because of how easy they are. They're more understanding, you know, like you said, like they'll tip more, like, you
And don't be cute.
know.
Don't be pretty. If you're pretty, and you have a nice shape or figure, you will kill it with the brothers, particularly with the brothers. But all of them, yeah, there's something to think about. I'm thinking about it with my old self. So something to think about. Okay. Oh, and then I want to say this too. So as we move forward with just kind of waking up to our health concerns and stuff, keep your thought on some of those products like the Glade plugins and the Febreze and the chemicals of them. Check out essential oils because they're natural. They're not harmful at all. Get you a couple of diffusers around your facility, couple of drops of oil. A bottle of oil can last for months because all it takes is a few drops in some water in a diffuser, and you have natural scents all day. I used to be real big on Glade plugins. I used to have one in every plug in my whole house. And I used to be really big on Febreze. I used to be really big on fabric softener in my clothes when I did laundry. And I've just learned that a lot of that stuff is just not the greatest for us, particularly things like fabric softener on our clothes. And then we're wondering why we're itching in our skin and stuff like that. So I'm a big proponent of natural stuff. So check out oils. I'm an oil girl and it's a lifestyle, but it's a healthier alternative to some of those things because I know they smell so good, but a lot of them are laden with a lot of chemicals. So look into it as you get ready to shift into doing all your aesthetic stuff. And then taste. So we're engaging all the senses here, right? So proper lighting, music selection, temperature, right? Temperature, scent, and then taste, right? So you want to offer naturally flavored waters and small healthy snacks for refreshment. And then also when you have your clients coming out of services, depending on what they're doing, this is really big in massage because you're moving lymph around and all that stuff. You're doing the same thing in the face. You want to think about like waters. So a lot of spas will have like a little fridge in the front. And then maybe a selection of different types of waters. One thing that I always love is when I go to a high-end spa. This is why y'all have to treat yourself one of these days. If you have not done it already. I love those water pitchers. The high-end spas will have the water pitchers. Well, they'll have like some citrus. You can see like the lemon, lime, whatever, orange sitting in the water. Sometimes they'll have cucumber water. Those are so good. That stuff that's even cheaper, is less expensive, and it's a little bit more natural because you're not buying so much in bulk. Sometimes it's easier to stock a fridge, right? With water bottles and cans of whatever. But as you just think about different options, I've looked at those water pitchers. They're not that expensive. You fill it up with water, good water, spring water, ice, and throw some like, fruit pieces in there, and you have that all day as the ice melts. So you got to manage it a little bit, make sure it stays clean and that you're not getting like certain surfaces wet. But I love those. That's what I look for when I go to a high-end spa. I want my cucumber water. There's some things to think about. And there's lots of little ways to do it too. My bestie's studio in Buckhead, she has a nice little setup with her little waters and her snacks. It's not hard to do. So that's something that you want to add in there for the taste feature. So that way you're hitting all of the senses. Okay, so room aesthetics, vital to creating a professional, relaxing atmosphere, colors, music, decor, all those things you want to think about when you get ready to set up your spa. All righty. Checklist of furniture and equipment. So you need a treatment table, obviously, or a facial chair. This is a nice one. I have one like this. I have two, actually. I bought from my neighbor next door. He moved out of his suite before I moved out of mine. And so I have two tables just like this. They are not easy to move. I'll tell you that right now. I had to get sliders to go under these I don't know what they're called right now, but I had to literally get sliders to move those around because they are heavy. Some of them, you'll see some of the tables, like I think the ones that we have at school have table legs. So they're a lot easier to move. You can kind of fold those down and just move them. They're a little bit more mobile. These are a lot harder to move. They're sturdier, but they're no, they can hold more weight. I think they can hold up to 400 pounds. Those other ones I don't think can hold up that much. Some of them have adjustable heads, footrests. I have a black one in my storage right now that my business partner bought, but she ain't doing nothing with it. So that one has an automatic, it has a remote control, and it goes up and down. The feet go up and down, the head goes up and down, and the height of it goes up and down. I keep trying to buy it from her. She says she won't sell it to me, but she ain't come get it out of my storage yet. Your esthetician chair is also called the operator stool. It needs to be ergonomically correct. It needs to be adjustable height-wise. It needs to be on wheels so it can roll around. And some of them have like the little, what do you call it? Oh Lord, my memory is, I was looking at this one stool and it had the little hump in the front. So that I guess that's supposed to kind of anchor you additionally. But I didn't get it because it didn't have a back on there. I have to have a back. Step stools over here helps the clients get on and off the bed safely. It needs to be stable. You need to assist your client if needed. Your utility cart or your trolley, this one back here, holds all your supplies and your tools. Could be stationary or a roll cart. I would always recommend getting a roll cart. That way you can put it out the way. That one's on wheels. Other than that, you have to pick it up. It's a pain in the butt. So always get your carts on wheels. Magnifying lamp or light. You need that for your skin analysis. And in this case, this is one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-in-1s, 6-in-1s, where you have your steamer here, you have your lamp, and then a couple of different machines, and then her hot towel cabbies on the bottom. You see those on Amazon all the time. They run anywhere from $200 to $900 or more. Let's see what else we have. So the steamer, you want to make sure the steamer is UL approved, clean it daily, following manufacturer's advice. Make sure that you remove the water out of the cup every single day. You don't want to leave that water hanging around because it will damage your machine and it will cause all kind of like mildew and stuff like that. Galvanic, high frequency, brush, vacuum, and spray machines. These are all the machines that are on this cart here. You want to make sure that you remove all your jewelry before you're doing things like galvanic. Why is that? Why do you need to remove your jewelry for galvanic treatments? And your high frequency treatments. Why do you need to remove your jewelry before galvanic and high frequency?
Is it because of the like electrical current that could like run through it?
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. All right, so you want to have your hot towel. Some people have their hot towel like up on like their cabinet or something like that. Like that looks like a hot towel machine as well here, but she's got one down here. So you always need one of those. A lot of times you need to be careful where you sit it because, excuse me, depending on the model, it may have like a tray to catch the steam that condenses. So you may have like a drip little thing underneath it. So you want to think about where you have it. Your waste container should be covered. You should not have an open garbage can in there. You have to have a cover with a self-closing lid and a foot pedal. Those are required. Prevent contamination. Closed covered laundry hamper, same thing. I don't see her laundry hamper in here. Oh, there it is right there. Same thing, you need a foot operated closed covered hamper for your soiled linens. Questions on any of this? Your additional items are going to be your wax pots and your autoclave. Got to have your autoclave so you can sterilize your equipment. And if you're going to be a wax queen, then you got to have that. Notice they have the, y'all do waxing? You've been waxing?
I do.
Okay, so you know the deal, right? Unfortunately, I don't always see these here. When you go into some of the shops that do a high volume, you'll see they'll line it with foil, but you want to line it with something so that it keeps your wax pots nice. Also, if you do paraffin, have y'all ever had a paraffin treatment, or have you ever done paraffin?
I think like with the paraffin wax that they put on your feet, or
Yeah,
they
in your hands. They do your hands
okay.
too. Yes. So you've had a treatment before?
Yeah, on my feet.
Oh, how was it?
It was really hot.
Yeah.
At first, at first it was uncomfortable, then it cooled down. But it was cool
Yeah. Have y'all ever done paraffin before? Do y'all get your nails done?
all the time.
I
What
don't.
about Maris and Nisha?
I
Y'all get your nails done?
I like do my own, but like I don't go to.
Nail shops?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you do
Okay.
your own like what? Like your own or press-ons?
I do press-ons, but I dip them. I dip the backs like in acrylic, so they
Mm.
stay on for like a really long time.
Y'all,
Mhm.
paraffin treatment nowadays should be cheap. Go get a paraffin treatment. It's quick. They dip your hand, and I don't know how it is now with COVID. I haven't had a paraffin treatment in years. So I don't know how it is, but I have. So y'all know I ran a school in New Jersey. So my school had, every school I've ever run or been a dean, a director of education at, has always had a massage therapy program. When I was closing my campus in New Jersey, I had to get rid of everything. They wanted me to throw equipment away. No. So I have all this equipment in my garage that I took with me. I donated as much as I could, but some stuff I took a table, I took a chair, a massage chair. I took paraffin equipment. I took a lot of stuff because I was like, I'm not throwing this away. I always had this dream I would have a spa. I have paraffin equipment. I just came across some of my paraffin equipment. So when we get to campus, if you have not had a paraffin dip by then, I'm going to bring it. We're going to do paraffin dips at school because you just have to have it. I'm old and I got like muscles sore and all that kind of stuff. So it feels really good. So for me, even a hand treatment is really easy. It's just like wax it's like hair removal wax. You put the paraffin, it's like a block of hard wax. You put it in, it melts, it gets soft and hot, and you dip it in. And yes, it almost feels like it's burning, but you dip it in, pull it out, dip it in, pull it out. And every time you go in, it's wax, think like a candle. If you ever seen them dip a candle, make a candle, it's like you're doing that. It's like you're making a candle with your hand. You dip it in, there's another layer of wax. It's paraffin wax. Dip it in, another layer, and you see it drying, and then you dip it in. And so then what they do is they put a plastic bag around it and tie it. You just sit there, and the wax is just like massaging your muscles. It's just relax. It's so relaxing. And then they peel it off. It just rolls off like it looks like candle wax, nice and thick, and they peel it off, and your hands, your skin is so soft after that. Oh, my God. Nowadays, I would think a paraffin dip is super cheap. So the next time you think about it, go stop by a nail shop and just ask them, how much is a paraffin wax for like a hand treatment? It's probably like $10 nowadays. Go do it just to try it. One thing about getting into this field, you want to experience the services that you might be doing. You might not even think about paraffin. Like paraffin is something if I open back up, I'm gonna offer that. It's too easy. It's easy. Plus I have boxes and boxes of paraffin wax, and I have a paraffin container. So I already have the stuff. I don't even have to invest in it. It's super cheap. People probably don't know about it. It's probably easy to advertise on your social media and just get people coming in. It's an easy upsell. We don't do nails, but it's an easy upsell on like any other wax treatment or like a facial treatment for relaxation while they're waiting on their mask. super, super easy. Okay, so, and then we gotta think about our autoclaves. If we're gonna be using reusable instruments, which we all will be, then you have to be able to sterilize them. Note on here, it says a UV sanitizer unit does not disinfect tools. It's used for storage after tools have been disinfected. So it's a way to protect already disinfected tools. It will not disinfect those UV ones that everybody's got in their spa. Additional items, you have to have your sharps container. If we're going to be doing dermaplaning, we don't do injections, right? I haven't done anything with injections since I was out of the medical field, but dermaplaning and I'm trying to think if there's something at microneedling. Those needles would need to be disposed of properly. I told y'all when I was in Orlando, I saw this thing, and I saw it on Instagram, and I think the girl was killing her. It's called microchanneling. It's a version of microneedling. Those have needles in it. Certain things with needles and blades, like dermaplaning, would need to be, or even if you're using like a derma roller, that would need to be, anything with a needle on it would need to be removed of in a sharps container. Mirrors in your binder for your material safety or data sheets. Safety data sheets used to be called material safety data sheets. So you have to keep those in a binder. Ergonomics. So there's lots of different stools out here. Do some shopping on that. Your back is at stake. So when you get ready to open and you're buying equipment, don't just buy any old thing. It's hard to get stuff like this where you can test it out. Like you can't find this stuff in the store. You have to order this stuff. So stools are tough because like the chair that I worked with was not the best. And that's part of why I was struggling. Body alignment, you want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor. Your hands should be below chest level. Why should that be? Why should your hands be below your chest level when you're working? What you think?
Is it for like
Too high.
back adjustments or something, like the way you're sitting?
Not necessarily for back. What did you say, Jasmine?
Too high. You'll be sitting like it. If I'm looking at the picture, if my hands aren't, it'll be too high.
And why is that a problem?
Maybe with your shoulders, something.
Could be with your shoulders, especially someone like mine. But the main reason is that as long as your hands are above your heart level, blood flow is going to change your blood flow. If your hands, I don't know about y'all, but like even right now, I feel a little numbness right here. So I'm dropping my hand down because I need that blood flow to go down there to wake my hand up. So if you keep your hands below your chest, blood flow is easier to get to your hands, and you won't find your hands getting going numb for a lack of blood flow. Make sense? You want to have your supply cart or your counter close to the facial table as possible. When reaching for a product or implement or to adjust equipment, get out of the chair. Don't overstretch your back or reach for something. Guilty. Complete hand stretches. Another thing I was guilty of. I did not stretch between my clients. And that's probably even more so important for what I was doing versus facials. But still, stretching and loosening up the hands before and after working is helpful in maintaining the health flexibility of your wrists and hands. Care for yourself in between clients. Stretch, take deep breaths, drink your water, empty your bladder. Structure your books where you have cushion in between. Do not do your clients back to back to back to back to back. Do not do that. Please do not do that. Take it from someone who did it and paid for it. It recommends using squeeze balls once a day. Hold for 2-3 seconds, relax your grip. Do that for a couple of times. And also I would say stretch your whole arms. Like for me, I got a bad shoulder. I'm having to stretch this thing out all the time. Very bad at that. I was very bad. So All right, let's look at, it's 11:30. Okay. So that's pretty much what we have time for. Cost of starting your own business. These are things that you can start researching now if that's something you want to do, or if you're already doing it, you want to make adjustments to what you're doing or the services that you're offering. These are things that you can start researching now. So a lot of everything that we talked about, there's a cost, but you don't have to buy everything on Amazon. You don't have to buy everything from equipment companies. Facebook Marketplace, y'all, is a resource that I made like $1,000 when I was getting a divorce and selling stuff out of my house. So Facebook Marketplace, I always forget to look at places like that. My bestie is always finding good stuff. I'm talking about good quality stuff that people barely use, looks brand new. She get off of Facebook Marketplace. It might have been a 20-minute drive across town right here in Atlanta to pick it up from somebody. So, but you do want to like make a list of suppliers that carry the tools and supplies that you might want, and do some comparison shopping. Some people just get everything from Amazon, but Amazon is great for certain things, and Amazon is overpriced for a lot of things too. Check out beauty supply stores, internet sites, trade journals, trade shows. That's why I recommend you all go to one. Next time there's something here in Atlanta, please go. Please go. Even if travel, like if travel is an issue, taking off work, go to the next show that's here in Atlanta and just walk around and just get, you know, business cards and flyers and stuff. There's a lot of, and then a lot of these companies have trade show pricing. So they'll drop prices for trade shows because they're trying to like really move a lot of equipment. Let's see. The next couple of areas, the next couple of slides talk about managing your supplies, supply management. This is a big thing, and we'll talk more about this. I'm not going to worry about this so much right now. This is something that's really important to talk about when we get on campus. Sometimes you think you need a whole lot of product. You really don't. That's why we have those little bitty trays with those little tiny cups and dips in them. So all you need like is a squeeze or two of each product. You can do a whole facial with just a little tray full of product. So a little goes a long way. When we get on campus, you're going to get familiar with the dispensary, which is where we store our supplies. We have our multi-use implements. We'll again learn how to disinfect and sterilize those. Then we have our single-use items, and we want to look at how we take care of those, how we maintain those, keep them clean. Your facial treatment supplies and products, we'll learn a lot about that. You guys did not get your kit and your uniform yet, right? No? Okay. So you'll be getting those when you transition to campus. So Nisha, you'll probably be the first / next one to get your uniform and your kit. I'm gonna tell y'all too, something else about this school y'all chose. The kit is fabulous here. We had to build our own kit, and we were told to get our stuff from the Dollar Tree. Y'all have a legit Dermalogica kit. The kit is legit, okay? I'm just excited about it. It's so legit that my bestie and I, who are in the instructor program, because we don't get kits, we're going to buy kits from Lotus for $300. We're going to spend $300 just for the kits that you all get with your tuition. That's how good your kits are. I'm here to give you some perspective, okay? Because I had to make my own kit from crappy products. Y'all have a very good kit. So we will learn how to set your facial treatment up. You will learn the difference between express and mini treatments. You will learn how to get prepared for your services in the treatment room. I'm excited for y'all to go to campus. I really am. So you have your checklist, your schedule. Oh, and let me go ahead and stop the recording right now so it doesn't go too long. Yes.